Hey dudes, Silhouette Zoltas here again, and today I'd like to continue my Memories of Vanilla series with a short story that I hinted about in my last video. I am, of course, talking about that time that I accidentally became a ninja looter. It's definitely a doozy of a story, filled with anger, noobishness, and all sorts of things that we all remember from the good old days. Before you listen though, remember to subscribe for more content in the future. Especially going forward into 2019, it'll be really fun to reminisce about Classic as that date gets closer and closer. But with that out of the way, let's get on with the story. I was questing in Stranglethorn Vale, as we all did back then, killing some various trolls and tigers as I attempted to finish off a quest in the area. I don't remember exactly what quest I was on at that moment, but I think it had to do with the trolls by the coast. You know, the ones between Gromgol and the Nessingwary camp. I must have been around level 33 or so at that point, because I had started getting used to the feel of STV. As I turned the corner by some ruins, I was greeted by a rogue running away from a group of Bloodscalp trolls, with only a sliver of health left. Naturally, being the friendly player I was, I healed him up, and subsequently got aggro on two of the trolls and saved his life. He turned around, finished off the initial mob that he had been trying to kill, and we defeated the group together. "Hey, you need these guys?" he asked in /say. Before I could respond though, I got a group invite. Now, I knew it was always safer to group up for quests, so I accepted, and we began working together to clear out the trolls. We made a good team, the rogue and I. He would sap one mob, and then we'd burn the other one or two that would be nearby. If there were a lot super close together, I'd wand pull and he'd cheap shot. And all the while, I kept us both alive with my healing. All in all, it was a good time, the kind of time you'd expect in classic World of Warcraft. We'd just about finished up the quest because we were on our way out of the area and heading back towards the quest giver when it happened. A troll fell dead, and in the bottom of my screen, the window popped up. Tiger Strike Mantle. Need, greed, or pass. A new cloak! Awesome! I opened my character tab and looked over at my current cloak. Compared to my Yeti fur cloak with its 6 agility and 3 spirit, this was a huge upgrade. 8 agility and 7 stamina? Awesome! So, naturally, I hit need. And within seconds, the roll was won, and the cloak went into my bags. I immediately equipped my new gear, and I thought all was great with the world. WTF, dude? Why did you ninja that? Confused, I replied in what I now realize was a terrible answer. I needed it. Caps lock engaged. "Oh my god, what are you doing, you noob? Why are you effing priest needing on a cloak with your agi on it? What the F? What's your guild, Guardians of Azeroth? I know your GM. I'm gonna get him to kick you out." Needless to say, I was quite confused at all of this. After all, the stats on this gear totaled to a higher number, so clearly it was an upgrade. So I simply replied, "Okay." Now, I had at some point joined a guild called the Guardians of Azeroth. Our GM, Love, was someone who was always on no matter what time of the day it was, so a lot of people on my server knew him. He was messaged, and in order to solve the issue, he flew himself down to STV just to meet us in a classic RP style. Though now that I think about it, this probably could have just been solved by messaging him, but whatever. Anyway, when he arrived, he inspected me and asked what I had been wearing before needing on the cloak. So I swapped back and forth between the new and the old cloaks to show that I had actually equipped the item and that it was indeed an upgrade. He declared that it had simply been a misunderstanding. And though my rogue companion of 20 minutes of troll slaying wasn't happy, he accepted the fate of the Tiger Strike Mantle. My priest would don it for some time, until it was eventually replaced. However, both he and Love both warned me that, as a priest, I shouldn't need roll on items with agility, but rather try to find ones with intellect and/or spirit. I thanked them both for the lesson, and we moved on with our lives, but I'll never forget that encounter in the jungle and the rage that it brought. The Tiger Strike Mantle incident, as I call it now, while unfortunate for that rogue, was a turning point in my early World of Warcraft career. It taught me not only to think of myself, but also to think about the other players I was grouping with, what they need, and what stats are better suited for them. Sure, 6 Agi and 3 Spirit weren't the best stats on a cloak for a priest, and the blue cloak was definitely an upgrade, but I could have held out for a cloak with intellect just a level or 2 later if I had known or considered it. But that's one thing I really miss from back in the day. The sense that you really cared about upgrades. Every stat mattered, but so did your reputation with other players. The risk of being labeled a ninja was a scary prospect, and I really did feel that I needed to prove my innocence at that point. And in doing so, I was left with this powerful memory. I hope you enjoyed this installment of my Memories of Vanilla series. Next time, I'll tell the story of my first time visiting the Arathi Highlands on my way to South Shore. But until then, let me know what you thought of this story by leaving a comment down below. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future, and follow me on Facebook and Twitter so that you don't miss any updates. But until next time, guys, take it easy.